What's up, everyone? Have ourselves another day today. Like I said in yesterday's video, I am gonna have to switch gears today. We're gonna have to actually start. We're gonna have to build a fuel tank, build floorboards. Before I can weld this side up, I might have to cut this side off to get everything in there. So, anyways, yeah, be working with just sheet metal. I don't have a brake, so I can't break my seams or my angles. So I'm gonna probably end up doing the score method. Well, I'll put all my lines on and have to score it with a grinder. Then I can fold it, and then I have to go back over it and re-weld the scores, because if you don't, those scores over time will actually crack out. So I got some 3/4 inch angle iron the other day when I went down for my doctor's appointment, and I'll probably end up using that on the inside of the tank and all the corners. That way I can tack it on there, score the edge of it, and it gives me a stouter edge to break the metal on. So we'll give that a try. Hopefully everything goes all right. Our tank is gonna be, I haven't decided if I'm going to notch the edges yet and gain about a gallon. As of right now, the math works out to about a 21.25 gallon tank, which it'll actually go up from there because I have to build a sump into this tank for the fuel pump. The tank's only going to be 5.5 inches tall. It's going to fit under the floor right in here, and so it'll be 5.5 inches tall. But my fuel pump sending unit combo is 8 inches deep, so I'll have to build a 2.5 inch sump around it, which is fine. With it being a fuel injected engine, that keeps fuel down on the pump, and there's no chance of the fuel sloshing away from the pump when it gets low. So anyways, that's the game plan for the day, and I'll figure out a filler neck and everything after I get the tank in there. But yeah, see how this goes. I've never built a fuel tank before, so this might be a real disaster. It actually turned out all right. Like I said before, all those seams I have to go through and actually weld them again, but where there's no gap on them, no two pieces, I'll probably just be able to buzz down it with the TIG welder and not even have to add metal. I've got the angle iron behind those bends and the material there, so hopefully that'll work out all right. I'm gonna have to set it in place, figure out where to put the sump at, and build another little box for the sump and cut in the top ring for the sending unit and stuff. But I'm actually really happy with how that turned out. Usually when I do this, these two edges don't line up very well, but that's pretty damn close when you're going over 48 inches of material. So I'm very happy with it. Well, that took forever. I found out the coating, the slag coating on this metal, it does not like to weld, so I had a few spots where I had to go back, grind out, and redo, but I won't be able to pressure test anything until I have end caps in, stuff like that. But yeah, I went ahead and ground the coating off down this seam. I'm gonna do that on all 4 seams and weld down them, make sure everything's sealed up good and not gonna crack out on me. All right, well, that took forever. 16 feet of weld, but it actually turned out pretty good. Didn't warp all the heck. Like, it's pretty straight. I'm happy with it. I have to notch it to fit around floor braces, so that'll be the bottom here will be cutting 2 by 1 out of there on each side, so that can fit down in the floor. And then I'll set it in, and we can figure out where the sump and everything's gonna go. All right, got the notches cut. I can't do any end caps or anything like that until after I have all the baffles welded in and everything. So, but the notches are cut. I'm actually gonna put this up on the tripod and try and drop the tank down in where it goes, and hopefully it fits. That'd be pretty cool. All right. Then our floor is gonna just continue off the back there over, drop down over this. I'll have about an inch of space in front of it, which is fine. Our floor will be there and pieced into that, but that tank fits awesome. I'm happy with that. Gave myself a 1/2 inch on each side, and then a 1/2 inch front to back travel too. So it can't really go anywhere with the floor bracing and stuff, and it'll have its own mounts down on the frame too. So yeah, that's awesome. Very, very happy. All right, we got our sump welded on. It actually turned out pretty good. I'm still happy with how this tank is turning out. For a flat surface that big, there's not a lot of warping. A little bit right here by the sump, that's it. This is the bottom. These strips here, or this strip, this is that bent piece. Got delivered bent, so I cut it off, and I'm going to use it for baffling inside. I'm going to put 2 baffles. This is 5.5 inches. This is 4 inches. I don't care if the top 1.5 inches of the tank can slosh. It's not a whole lot of movement there. I just don't want, when the tank gets low, sloshing a bunch back and forth. So I'm actually going to put 2 baffles in it, and I'll put them clear to the bottom, and then they'll be able to spill over the top of themselves. And then I'm just going to put a hole in the middle of each one, because the fuel return comes right back to the fuel pump, so it'll all dump right there in the sump. So it'll always have fuel there. This will just be the extra storage side, so it just has to be able to get over to that side, not really in a big hurry. That sump will be the lowest point and hold the fuel. So I think I'm just gonna put 2 of those in there. That'll give it a little bit of structure, and then I'm gonna build this end cap. I can go ahead and weld it on, everything's good there. I'm gonna hold off on this side because I still have to put a filler spout in it, and I have to cut the neck into the body, and so I gotta get a filler spout and figure out exactly where it's gonna go. So that'll be another day. But for today, I can get the tank pretty well done. Building a fuel tank isn't that hard. It's just baffling. Made good progress today. It doesn't look like much, but there's a lot of welding, a lot of cutting, a lot of figuring that goes into building that tank. And my dad has a parts tank that I'll be able to cabbage the filler neck and a drain plug off of. So hopefully I can have that tank finished this week. I'll get some POR 15 coming to do the whole inside of it. I'll pressure test it anyway, but then I'm gonna coat the whole inside with POR 15 just to make sure we don't have any leaks. Nice thing about this one versus a factory tank is this one will be under the body instead of inside the cab. So if there is a leak, at least it won't gas me out. Yeah, get that done this week, get it put in place and on mounts. And then I'm gonna be building the floor pan to go over the top of that and cutting some more of the floor out there. I'm gonna save the transmission tunnel for now. It's not really rusted out like the floorboards are. So I'll probably just cut the floorboards out, hold that up with a ratchet strap or something, and I'll extend this floor over as far as I can. And then I'll just have smaller panels to replace in there. So yeah. Making good headway, just keep plugging away. Light duty, can't do anything heavy, so we'll keep working on the small stuff.